can't believe it. 2 years. It's been 2 years since I've been waiting for something like this. So let me give you guys the TLDR. So 2 years ago, I was actually covering Def Noodles when he was having the manic episode. It was a crazy time. I've never seen anybody in real time act crazy and go against all his fans, saying if they didn't like it, they didn't understand comedy, and that they should probably go watch something else. I have never seen anything like that. It was such a shocker to see. Like, I didn't see that this guy had a few loose screws in his head. I just didn't think he was gonna stoop to this level. And seeing it in real time was something else. Now, Sunny, if those who do not know who Sunny is, he's basically this YouTuber that does these documentary videos. He did get himself in a bit of controversy when it came to the Chris Tyson situation, but that's a story for another day. I'm just stoked that he finally made one on Def Noodles. And I really want to cover this one with you guys because there's like a lot of people that still don't know what happened, and this is like the quick TLDR video that will probably summarize what really happened.
Def Noodles, 500,000 subscribers but only a few hundred views per video.
Yeah, those on the bottom are his current videos. I have no idea what's going on or what they're supposed to mean.
The total collapse of his channel had been building for months beforehand, although the final nail in the coffin was
What is this? Sorry. Oh my god. I love this art.
beef with Penguin Zero, who also covered
Oh my god, Charlie. Oh, and the black roses. Oh, that is some great symbolism. I love this
drama, although with one major difference.
I swear to god, I hope Def Noodles sees this. He would be losing it.
Each creator's level of integrity. While Critical only covers topics that he's qualified to speak on, Def Noodles began to wreck his image by covering anything and everything with a sloppy, embarrassing, complete lack of research.
Yeah, like, he really thought he could get away with talking with whatever until he stepped boundaries.
For example, back when James Charles was being accused of grooming, a comedy TikToker named Sammy Sens posted an obviously fake James Charles chat log, captioned with the hashtags funny and meme, making it obvious that the screenshot was an edited joke. Well, Def Noodles rushed to his Twitter writing, who could have seen this coming?
James Charles actually came out with, what do you call it? An article, and they mentioned Def Noodles in it. They kind of like dunk on him, that they discredit Def Noodles for, at the time, he slandered James Charles, and they kind of compare it to Dennis' own controversy, and they make him look bad. It's really funny. But James Charles is, I do believe in the things that he did afterwards, but Def Noodles made it be suppressed and not heard even more, or for people to believe it at first.
James Charles exposed by 14-year-old boy.
I'm glad that we have these preserved because Def Noodles got his Twitter suspended again. So this is such a good summary and evidence of everything that Def Noodles has done and said, because this dude wants to rewrite history every time he goes into a new grift.
Apparently not even looking at the screenshot's original date, when James Charles
Come
was
on,
still
Def Noodles
himself. To make Def Noodles' obvious lack of research worse, he'd then promote a second even faker screenshot, with Def Noodles responding in the most immature way. He'd state this page is satirical, meaning it's not meant to be taken seriously. Tone is overly serious because it's meant to be satirical.
The way I present things is so serious, that's what's supposed to be the satire.
And the thing is, you cannot tell the satire. This just feels like BS. It feels like a way to shield yourself from criticism, which is a poor attempt. It worked for so long until it didn't.
However, this move backfired terribly, as Keemstar would give Def Noodles a taste of his own fake satire. Def Noodles has allegedly groomed girls from ages 12 to 15. Big YouTuber source, victims are scared of him, and
now, do I think this was a right choice to make? Not really. I don't even think as joking is a really good thing to do. And this is what got Keem sued, and Dennis actually benefited the most from the lawsuit. Even though you want to you want to give a taste of their own medicine to these people, sometimes it's best to just let them self-destruct.
Scared of him and wish to stay anonymous but may come forward soon. Def Noodles has declined to give us a comment on these allegations made against him, with Def Noodles then responding to the mockery in another terrible way, by lawsuit.
I am now suing him to clear my name of these false allegations and to hold him accountable for knowingly making false accusations.
And as summarized by a comment reading, he's been spiraling since the Keemstar lawsuit announcement. This is where Def Noodles' life
Oh, is that the H3 subreddit? Oh my god.
fell apart. Because despite suing Keemstar for falsely tweeting about him being a pedo, Def Noodles went on to do this to another YouTuber named
Papa Gut,
while adding "put this MF on a watch list." He looks mad suspicious.
I remember this. When this whole situation was going down, I had no idea what was going on because I stopped paying attention to the Def Noodles. And once I caught wind and caught up, I was like, ooh, this is not good.
Suspicious. When people called Def Noodles out for doing the same thing he was suing Keemstar for, Def Noodles claimed he hadn't wronged Papa Gut in any way because 1. My bio says comedian, 2. Since 2019 I've said I covered news as a joke and wasn't meant to be taken seriously, and 3. Saying someone looks like a pedo isn't an accusation, especially when they objectively look like a pedo.
This has got to be the dumbest tweet I've ever heard. And this is what caused more people to turn on him. This is like the dumbest thing to say. Like, let's go to the first one. Nobody cares what the bio says. 2, people don't see it as way. They don't interpret it as that. You could say it comes off as that, but they will take it a different way. When people found his channel, they didn't really understand the concept that he was going through the concept of it being a satirical channel. That wasn't there. People did not see that. When people discovered his channel, they just saw it as a quick tea, gossip, catch-up. They didn't really see it as a satirical news channel. And the third one, there is no look of what a PDF file could be. It could look like the most conventionally attractive thing or person, but they're still a degenerate.
As a result, Papa Gut broke down live on stream.
This is a joke to you. It's a game to you. This isn't a game to me, Dennis. This is so real to me.
After which Def Noodles took a screenshot of Papa Gut crying and turned it into a piece of his own merch.
Okay, so I don't know if he's going to talk about the context of this, but the reason why Papa Gut was crying, because he actually at this time, he was on TikTok calling out a lot of predators, exposing them, educate young men and women to make the right decisions when it comes to essay and R-word culture, because a lot of that is pretty complex to explain. Like, I think we're still learning more and more about consent, coercion, and stuff like that. And he was really educating and doing good stuff on that. But I guess Papa Gut retelling what happened to his wife, it really made him break down. And Def Noodles thought this was funny, that he could just plaster it on a t-shirt. This set off his fans because Dennis is such an idiot. He had no idea that a lot of his fans, because of the politics and his views, a lot of his fans were SA survivors. So when he did this, it was like the biggest stab in the back ever. Like the lack of self-awareness.
The fact that Def is making fun of him for this is crazy showed the audience was losing respect for Def Noodles.
Your platform is going away because you're unjustifiably targeting me?
Which began to show in Def Noodles' following, as for the first time ever he began to lose subscribers. Although rather than recalibrating and letting his reputation heal, it almost instantly jumped into another controversy that would ultimately end everything, a beef with Penguin Zero. In addition to reporting the news, Def Noodles had made the claim that he was apparently a professional comedian. He'd state, "I have a background in comedy. I trained literally for years as an improviser. I've performed in basically every major theater and comedy venue in New York and LA. Every stand-up place, every place that you can think of and you can find on Google, I have performed there," which Def Noodles went on to prove by showing an awkward, unfunny clip of him performing live. Def Noodles clearly couldn't see that he wasn't as good as he thought. However, this didn't
Oh my god. Those who go to West Hollywood, they just go there. Oh, it's next to a Guitar Center? Oh man, that's cursed. I can't look at Guitar Center the same way again.
Didn't stop him from opening his own 50-person comedy club, christening the venue with an event
Oh,
called Super Roast Battle. It ran for an hour and a half and was streamed to a live audience on both Twitch and YouTube, leaving no space for mercy if the event was a total failure, and a total failure the event would certainly be.
oh my god. The first time I saw this, I couldn't bear. Like, it was such a disaster. Everybody was having a field day with it.
The first 24 minutes saw the audience sitting there waiting, and it's therefore no surprise they weren't exactly hyped when Def Noodles finally started the show.
Alright, LA, are you ready? You ready? I don't know about this. I don't think we're gonna do the show anymore. This crowd's like, they're all asleep.
These 24 silent minutes were spent setting up the unprepared lighting and sound, which clearly hadn't been checked or rehearsed.
Hey Steven, turn on the lights. The wrong lights. That's the house lights. Almost there. Wrong lights. So the lights are actually right here. I think I'm mic 1. Am I mic 1? Hello. There we go.
Like, honest to God, I've never seen anything so bad. Like, I'm not even
Things
playing
only
with
got
you all.
worse when the roasts actually started.
You look like you woke up in a dumpster.
Probably. You're like my cousin if you were a girl.
Thank you. I bet you cried when you got those tattoos.
I did.
Def Noodles spent the hour telling the worst jokes the world had ever heard, in the process picking up a 1-week Twitch ban for something said by one of the roasters. The event was so heavily criticized by the internet that
If anybody's wondering why it was banned, it's because the girl he was trying to roast, that she actually roasted him really badly. I mean, it was all trash, but I think if we were to compare, she probably had like the best roast. So what ended up happening was she just blurted out the F slur, and that's what got them banned on Twitch.
Def Noodles, this guy is just something else. I cannot believe what I just witnessed.
I actually
think I'm
did
still
watch
trying to
this guy
recover from
sometimes
it.
when it
This
came
was
to this
honestly
as
one of
well.
the more embarrassing things I've ever seen.
Def Noodles convinced himself the show was successful since it started a trend on Twitter, although it seemed this attitude changed completely when Penguin Zero uploaded I've never seen something this horrible.
This was a complete fucking disaster on a level I haven't seen before. Imagine Fire Festival, but if it actually happened and was
Oh my
worse than anyone
god,
could have
this is
imagined.
Critical
amazing.
gave a different take on why the show was a total failure.
Nobody knew each other. Literally nobody. So all they can do is roast each other's appearance because they don't know them.
Before offering a couple roasts of his own.
Like, this is what happens at like a middle school lunch table. It's like that episode of SpongeBob. And
Actually, yeah, I do remember in middle school. No, middle school was actually more funny when it came to roast battles like this. When we would sit in the table and roast each other, it was actually much more funnier than this. I'm not
hey,
gonna
so
lie.
what's up with salt shakers? Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
However, Def Noodles couldn't handle his basic criticism, as he'd respond with his own video titled My Apology to Moist Critical for First Super Roast Battles. Def Noodles spent the video sarcastically pretending he wasn't hurt.
Greatest crime that I committed was to have caused the great Moist Critical to cringe. Would like to extend my sincerest apologies for causing you to cringe while watching my roast battle. I am sitting here ludicrously buckling to my knees, self-deprecatingly acquiescing to the oh-so-great Moist Critical.
Joking he deserved the highest form of punishment for his failed comedy show.
Not only should I have been arrested and sent to the gulags, but I should have also been forced to live the rest of my miserable existence being waterboarded while Baby Shark plays on loop at max volume in the background, and 2 CIA torture experts electrocute the tip of my penis with tweezers.
In the 6 hours that followed, Def Noodles received a 90% dislike ratio, a loss of
rightfully
3,000
so.
subscribers, and thousands and
Yeah.
thousands of comments completely and utterly wrecking him. This is obviously trying to be ironic, but the layers of actual self-pity and insecurity make this very hard to
Exactly.
watch. You can tell Charlie hurt his feelings. This is cringier
Very
than the
much.
roast battle itself, so much that Critical came back to spank him again.
That's a funny thing.
This is going to be
Wait,
me
I gotta,
talking about his response video, which I think
message
is
something.
a very important lesson in how not to handle controversy.
However, the most notable announcement for the previous 2 videos was that Def Noodles had doubled down by scheduling another roast battle,
The only way for me to make this situation right again is to produce another roast.
which
Oh man, This felt like a fever dream. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody go these lengths to make something that will basically be considered a humiliation fetish.
somehow became even worse than the first one.
Alright, so Def Noodles hosted another one of his roast battles, and he somehow outdid himself. I could not believe what I was watching. I've never seen anything like this.
Because rather than casting a bunch of local comics, Def Noodles chose to invite his mortal enemy Salvo Pancakes, who filled the audience with his fans who were there to cause some chaos. The audience sat there waiting even longer than the first battle, and when Def Noodles finally walked out from the back, his roasts were physical rather than verbal.
Yep. That happened.
After shoving Salvo Pancakes, he'd get his revenge by walking through the crowd and onto the stage,
Man,
signing
I actually did see this one live. I did not see the first one live, but this one I did see. Oh, I think I still have the stream up. You guys could see it in my channel. It was such a disaster.
his own Salvo Pancakes posters, completely disrupting the show. This should have been the perfect chance for Def Noodles to roast his enemy, although in true Def Noodles fashion he hadn't prepared material and would instead get roasted by Salvo.
If we were here, there'd be nobody in the crowd.
After having a drink thrown on him,
Yeah, like the whole energy in this one. Salvo and Red Bar, they're like more edgy, non-PC comedians, and they went on Def Noodles, which he tried to present himself as more of a inclusive PC comedian, and having these two polar opposites clash is a recipe for disaster.
Salvo was forced out of the show by security, with the second Super Roast Battle's terrible mismanagement giving Penguin Zero a fresh new video.
At first I thought this was staged, because it looks like something straight out of the WWE. I was half expecting Stone Cold Steve Austin to come out with a beer and a chair and hit Def Noodles in the back with it.
With comments such as, "I like how Charlie has had this same format and style for years, and is still funnier than Def Noodles would ever be. Def Noodles' image was dying with every passing hour."
Oh my
The
God.
headshot came with Penguin Zero's fourth Def Noodles video, totaling over 10 million views worth of Def Noodles criticism, which could have easily been avoided by ignoring Critical's first video. When combined with all of his previous controversy, Def Noodles' monthly viewership went from 4 million to 400,000, although despite already losing 90% of his fan base, he somehow still had
Oh.
further to fall.
Yeah, this.
His news-related content
So after the roast battles, he was just doing random vlogs and whatever he could to just get attention. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was more experimental in this time. He stopped doing like the irrelevant news cat in the Minecraft house thing, and he was just doing whatever.
became low-effort challenge videos,
Yeah.
while an attempt to pivot to interviews also failed
Yeah, he tried to, but it was
to
bad.
make a difference. More than 1 year after the roast battle incident, every
Oh my
video was still
God.
getting at least
These even got dislikes. That is really bad.
50% dislikes, and
It just shows you how important reputation is. If you just mess up once, people will not let you forget that.
a bunch of comments along the line
And what's crazy is that he removed these videos from his channel, and Sonny's basically bringing out the receipts. And Charlie even said this. Charlie even said he might have a come to Jesus moment, and he might take down these videos. And that's what Def Noodles ended up doing, as he started doing these weird 1-minute videos afterwards, short videos.
of 1.5k views in 15 hours is crazy, but it's mind-blowing when you realize Dennis has over 500k subs. Who's watching these videos? Lining up interviews for a non-existent audience wasn't exactly worth it, so he'd instead fall in love with his own failure by uploading a video titled Unsubscribe Challenge.
I want to challenge everybody who's watching this video and is subscribed to this channel to unsubscribe. I want to see if we can break the record for being the most unsubscribed
This is his current channel, but
in the
oh my God, I
history
gotta
of this
tell you.
platform.
This would mark
After this, I gotta tell you guys what happened in between that, because it is insanity.
like the first of many insane Def Noodles ramblings, including I'm Fat, I'm a Loser, and of course the Unsubscribe Challenge Part 2.
You know, I don't ask for much in life. One of those things would be for you to unsubscribe right now.
Which many of his audience were happy to oblige. Over on Reddit, OKP compiled 20 different videos, which failed to achieve a single view despite being hours old, while a different user questioned if Def Noodles had the least watched channel views to subscribers ratio. Ironically, Def Noodles has since tried to mirror Penguin Zero by launching Def Noodles New, and while some of his takes are surprisingly well put, his thumbnail game and more notably
Okay, so let me tell you guys what's up with that. In between, when Dennis was doing the more experimental, low effort videos, he had a fallout with his assistant where she just didn't feel comfortable anymore, and he dragged her out in the desert. Ill prepared. She started talking about how it was a breaking point of her quitting. And Dennis saw this. I don't know who or what told him, but he caught wind of this. And then he said he was going to sue her. From what I know right now, I think it was more of a threat. I'm hoping it was a threat. I'm hoping he didn't go because she's just like getting by. And Dennis said it's not really about the money. It's about the message, basically. He got with this girl. She's looking, I actually do follow her, but, and I actually tried to talk to her about that, but I think she's just private for now. Dennis had a thing with her, and she claimed Dennis threatened her, and then he said he was gonna end game her, and then that he was joking. And he always does this. He says some of the most outrageous things that he's gonna do to somebody, and then he's just gonna say it's a joke. He's like, it's a prank, bro. That's what he does, and it's really ridiculous. It can only work so long until he does it with the wrong person. And after that, they broke up. Dennis was like basically alone live streaming. He tried to hide how he was really feeling. And then he tried to do a rebrand where he apologized, but people weren't really buying it. They were saying, oh, this apology is just so that this apology, you're doing this apology because you know you're losing viewers and revenue and you want to at least to get a chance again. But the thing is, he wasn't really apologizing because he didn't even know what he was apologizing for. It was pretty vague. It could have mean anything. He didn't really apologize to his fans. Oh yeah, and Steven and Corey were the, I will say, black token employees that he had on. He used them as a shield to say, oh, you guys are bigots because you guys go after these guys, my co-hosts. And Dennis was kind of using him as a shield of criticism, but really made him look worse because he ended up firing both of them. And he didn't even really pay them what was promised as well. And after that apology tour, nobody was buying it. He tried to, like you guys saw the interview panels, and after that, he just decided to be controversial and kind of give bad takes. Since he started from the left-wing content creator side, he shifted more into the right. And it just showed us that he had no integrity and he was trying to copy everybody else and not be his own person. That really is what destroyed his reputation. They just saw that he had no grasp on what he's talking about. He could say reasonable takes, but people know that it's not really coming from him. He just sees somebody else saying the same thing and he just copies and pastes. So yeah, let me give you a quick TLDR. So he lost the first Papa Gut debate back in January 2022. He still had people writing for him, but they were kind of like looking at him indifferent. And then he held that on. He was so bitter about it that he then later sued Keemstar for that joke that you guys saw. And after the Keemstar incident, he decided to go after Papa Gut because Ethan actually praised Papa Gut. And Dennis got jealous of this, that he just decided to take a out of context quote that was already explained about. They already explained this back in the January debate that I just mentioned. And he was acting like he didn't know what he was talking about, Dennis, that is. And Dennis basically had to go on a 6-hour Twitter space to explain that it was a joke, but nobody was believing it. Double down, make the roast battles, and there were actually 4 of them, and those 4 ended up bombing as well. The first 2 were chaotic, but the other 2 after that, people just forgot about that. And after that, his assistant, she ended up leaving. He ended up seeing this girl in the adult industry and they had some conflict going on, and then she just left afterwards. And then his two co-hosts, he just fired them and didn't pay them as well. And then he tried to do an apology tour, and he has another girlfriend now. But the thing is, given her background and the things he's currently saying, it kind of comes off as manipulative because he doesn't believe that she deserves to have a chance in a relationship with her type of background, but he's still with her. Kind of makes you question, maybe there's like some weird power dynamics going on there. I may be overanalyzing, but that's just what it looks like. And as where we are right now, he's just doing whatever to get whatever attention he can. God forbid he gets into IRL streaming, because this guy is desperate for anything. But yeah, that's where we are currently with Dennis. There's just like so much to go through, even with the Sunny video, which I was waiting for this one. I'm glad that he did it, because so many of us were waiting for Dennis to get covered, because he wants to rewrite what happened. He wants to rebrand, not take accountability. But we got to remind him, dude, you still got so much skeletons in your closet that you haven't resolved yet. I got to show you guys. So you know that, let me see, it's Brandley. He was in Disney Channel. And Good Luck Charlie, Pants on Fire, Lab Rats, Bradley Stephen Perry. He actually... This guy right here. Yeah, we got the podcast. Yeah, I sit in chat.
Weird, man. Like sometimes
they're actually filming in Def Noodle's current studio, believe it or not. So this is like it's spread right here. Okay, you guys could see. And here's Def Noodles with Augie, Plain Rock. I don't know Plain Rock, but I know Bo Blacks. So you guys could see it's the same setup. Only this one looks higher quality for some reason. I don't get that. I don't know if he's former, but a Disney Channel star on Def Noodle's podcast set is the craziest paradox I've ever seen. Let me see if I could show you guys more of his podcast studio. Yeah, this is another one of his rooms. Oh God. That is insanity, dog. Like, the fact people are actually using the studio is insane. Honest to God, I think it would probably be better if Dennis takes a break from content creation and focuses on this. I think this has a better chance of working if he just focuses on the real estate that he has with the podcast studios. I think he really has something going on here. Says he wants to do like 5 businesses, and it kind of shows the mental decline. He actually has an official site. Oh my God. Podcast Studio, Sunset Media. See, it's the same one. Oh my God. That's the one they're using. How much is the hourly rate? Let me see. 75 an hour. 85 for like cameras. 4 sessions. So what I think is happening with Def Noodles is that when it comes to his brand, he wants to be on the top. And there's nothing wrong with being prideful for your work, but when you lose that humility and you're told no, because I don't think Def Noodles was ever told no, because he's a trust fund baby, that kind of makes him lose the sight of reality. And that's what made him kind of spiral and everything happen. We've told him he needs to take a break. And he says he can't because he's afraid of endgaming. And the thing is, I just feel he's too caught up in the hustle mentality. He sees people that work 9 to 5s and they complain about it as them not trying hard enough. He kind of believes in the working every day kind of mindset. But the working every day mindset doesn't really benefit. You got to actually understand your audience, and he does not understand his audience. He just has this perceived notion of how they are. He just sees like a generalization of how his audience can be, and he goes with that. And when it backfires, he turns on them and he starts deflecting and nothing makes sense. Now there's like a whole video talking about the archive of Def Noodles. I actually saw that one, and a lot of it explained about his upbringing, that he pretty much felt outcasted, and with him being outcasted, that caused him to become the bully since he was bullied. And he said he didn't really have friends. All of this was him writing it, and this caused him to act the way that he acts. But yeah, my advice would be to actually take a break, because You can see this dude is exhausted, Def Noodles, and honestly, if he just takes a break from social media, I know it's gonna sound harsh, but I don't think he's really made for the internet because he really can't handle the pressure that goes with it. I think he easily breaks, he easily deflects. I even try to talk to him, but the thing is, he constantly goes in circles and deflects. Like, I wish we could have like a simple conversation, but we can't even have that because he's gonna try to go in circles. I actually was talking to him in one of his live streams, but he just kept going in circles and deflecting and jumping to question. And somebody else, he would just start whenever asking questions as well. He did the same thing. Like, this guy cannot take criticism. Dennis needs to learn how to take criticism. He needs to humble himself. He needs to take breaks. I think I pretty much covered all I can. I just wanted to get this recap because it's been 2 years and I didn't think Def Noodles would reach this low. I think that'll be it. Thank you all, and I'm out.